All right, guys, we've got a special treat at the range today. We've got a 1960 produced Egyptian Rasheed. Very cool 7.62 by 39 rifle. Let's take a few shots and we'll give you a little history lesson here. I'm just gonna go for the gusto, Eric. I'm gonna shoot 300.
Man, just go. You just do it, Chad.
Well, I'm just gonna do it.
You just do it. You do that.
I don't remember where I was holding earlier. I'm just gonna have to guess.
It's fine.
Get that safety off.
High right, about a foot.
All right.
The wind is blowing left to right, if that means anything to you. Yep. Good elevation. Right over the gong.
Ah!
Ah, malfunction. Not uncommon with this particular rifle that we found. Oh no! Oh no!
You had about 4 of your shots land into probably about a 8 or 10 inch circle, and then one flew far left, opened it up to about 20 inches. Dead center. Good. Keep doing that. This guns can be a little finicky.
Definitely finicky guns.
Good. All right, that was way down on the bottom edge of the plate. Not bad though.
Well, it is 7.62 by 39. It is Tula. Well, as you can see, it's not the most reliable platform on the market, but these are very cool rifles. This is an Egyptian Rasheed, and if you guys have seen the videos we've done on the Swedish Jungmann, the AG42B of Eric's, and then also the Hakim that we did a little while back last year, they all use the same direct gas impingement operating system that was designed by Eric Eklund. And the Hakim and the Rasheed are rifles that were produced in Egypt using the machinery from Sweden, and basically the same design, just beefed up for the 8mm caliber in the case of the Hakim. It's a semi-automatic platform. The Hakim takes a 10-shot detachable magazine. Typically it's fed with stripper clips, and if you remember that video, that rifle shot incredibly well. These are very, very good designs, and they're just fantastic rifles, and in the case of the Rasheed, highly, highly collectible. They produced these guns only in 1960. So every rifle that was made in 1960, and they only produced between 6,000 and 8,000 from the reports that I've seen. And as far as the ones that are imported into the United States, maybe 2,000 to 3,000. So definitely a rare gun. And as you can see, this does feature a extendable bayonet. As you can see here, it's very similar to what you would see on like a Russian SKS or a Yugo SKS. Basically the exact same thing, 12-inch foldable bayonet, 20-inch barrel. Pretty thin profile for the most part. That is one thing with these guns. The barrels are known to whip around a little bit. Accuracy can be a little bit spotty, but it does use a direct gas impingement system, which is highly accurate. As we've seen like in the AR-15s and such over the years. It does have an adjustable gas plug. Unlike the AG42, which is a fixed gas system, the Hakim and the Rasheed do use a teardrop shaped plug up here. You use a special tool to be able to turn the gas up and down for different loads. Originally on, when the Hakim was developed, there was so much surplus 8mm ammunition on the market that, or well, not in the market, but really like in the stores of the Egyptian military, that they needed a rifle that could accommodate all those different variations in the ammunition. So they wanted an adjustable gas system, and that made them be able to fine-tune the ammunition, for their particular rifles. But like I said, semi-automatic system. This one has a detachable magazine, but it's typically meant to be fed with stripper clips. And unfortunately today, we forgot all of our SKS stripper clips, so we'll just be feeding this magazine manually. It's just a really, really neat and unique rifle. And when Eric got the AG42 early on, I started looking into them, and I picked up the Hakim not terribly long after that. And this rifle I actually picked up from Tim over at Military Arms Channel. He had this rifle for a while, and he picked up an example that was even better than this one that the bayonet had never been extended on. I mean, talk about some jealousy right there, milsurp jealousy. But very cool guns, easy to take apart and clean, and everything else. comes apart just like the Hakim and the Jungmann. Basically, you have a dust cover similar to the Jungmann and the Hakim. You center the safety right here. This is the safety on the back. Pull it out, and then your dust cover and your recoil rod or guide rod assembly and recoil springs come out. It does have a kind of a dual captured assembly here, kind of a two-part recoil assembly. And then your bolt can just come right out the back. And the bolt just twists out. If I can get it out of here, you gotta kind of hold your mouth right. So it has a two-piece bolt, just a tilting system here to delay that blowback just a little bit there from the direct impingement system. Very, very cool gun, very easy to maintain, very easy to operate, but they can be a little bit on the finicky side as far as what ammunition they like, and I'm about to try out a couple of other varieties of ammunition if I can get this bolt back together right. You really got to hold your mouth right to get this sucker in there right.
And there's no parts.
Huh?
And there's no parts.
Oh gosh, I know. Like, the parts for these things are just stupid expensive when you can find them, and they're just non-existent. I mean,
don't break it.
I'm not gonna break it. Eric's back here laughing at me. I got this thing apart earlier just fine. I'm like, I'm gonna practice for the camera.
Well, you're not holding your mouth right.
I'm gonna practice for the camera so when the camera's on, I can get it back together just right for you guys. Yeah, right. I'll drop that mag down real quick. But very, very neat guns, and just a unique piece of military history. You know that Eric and I, we like our Swedish guns. We like you know, the M96s, 9638s, the Jungmann. The Jungmann is an amazing firearm, and you know, I have the Hakim and the Rasheed now, so we kind of have the complete collection between Eric and myself. And these guns are just so cool. I mean, they've got Egyptian markings all over them and everything like that. The sights do go out to a very conservative 1,000 meters. 1,000 meters. Like, really? Come on now. I'm gonna try just a little bit more of the Tula, I guess. And I'm gonna shoot closer range. I'm gonna use the Battle Sight Zero. I had the rear sight set to what I believe is the 400 meter mark. I was trying to bullseye that target out there at 300. And we're gonna do something a little dangerous here. We'll put our magazine back in place. We're just gonna lock the bolt to the rear and put it on safe, and we're just gonna stick our finger down in this mouse trap and hope we don't wind up like that hot dog a little while back. You ever heard of Grand Thumb? Yeah. These bolts will get you even worse. But this is some 124 grain hollow point tool ammo that I picked up locally. I am not a huge 7.62x39 guy. I don't really own a lot of firearms chambered in this caliber. Therefore, I don't have a lot of ammunition for it. But let's try a few more rounds of this. And I've got some of this Hornady SST, which is basically a lacquered steel case with I think it's a 123 grain ballistic tip SST on top of it. And everything else I've shot this out of has been quite reliable, and it's been very accurate ammunition. And I'm gonna shoot a little bit more of this. Yeah, for the money.
This stuff's not cheap.
No, it is not cheap at all. But I was keeping it around for hunting, but I figured I'd try it out of this gun just to see if maybe some of the ejection issues and such that I'm having with the stovepipes and everything were ammunition related. Honestly, I had the tool at the range a little while back when I first got this rifle, and I was adjusting the gas on it, trying to find a sweet spot and everything to get it to eject properly, and I literally have the gas turned all the way up just to get the bolt to come to the rear. Maybe the ammunition is not hot enough. Maybe I need to try some of the stuff we used back in the like the primary arms video we did on the 7.62x39 ACSS reticle. We were using some of the Golden Tiger and some of the M67 ball. I don't really want to run M67 ball through a direct gas impingement rifle like this, especially one that's highly collectible, because I don't want to have to worry about all that corrosive ammunition running through there and then really having to pull this thing apart and clean every little piece just to keep it from deteriorating. But I'll see if I can locate some Golden Tiger, and we'll shoot that maybe the next go around or whatever. But for now, this is what we have, and like I said, it's just mainly just to show off, kind of a neat collectible gun, you know, for you guys. But I still don't know exactly what this wood is on the stock here. Eric seems to think it's like an Arctic birch, like they would have brought these in from Sweden or something like that, or at least the raw materials, and
Possibly.
then they would have made them on the machinery in Egypt. But just a cool gun. Like I said, the safety's in the rear. Right is safe, left is fire, if I'm not mistaken. And I said, very few moving parts, very simple system to keep clean and maintain. Just an awesome little gun. So I've got the rear sight set on the Battle Sight 0, and I will say, and Eric seems to agree too, the sights on this are a little bit better than like a standard SKS for sure.
A lot better than SKS. You going for 100?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot 100 real quick. I'm just gonna use the Battle Sight and then just kind of walk back out to 3 and
Yeah, go.
and just see. Because it's supposed to be a 100 meter to 300 meter battle sight at the very bottom setting here. So, and yeah, we're Americans, so we're working in yards. All right, 100 yards. All right, fire.
Go. Favoring the right edge of the gong.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna shoot a group real quick. Right side still.
Yeah, go. About a fist size group.
Shoot, perfectly acceptable. All right, let me try to shoot that target down there at 2. It's a half size D28 from Shoot Steel down there.
Okay,
And it's just a stick in, so.
go ahead.
Oh, that target's tiny.
Yep,
Got
you're
him.
on the right quadrant, but you're on it.
Okay.
About a pie plate size group.
Dang. All right. I got one more round. Thought I shot 5.
Yep, all in the same area.
Very cool. Well, I'm gonna load up some of the Hornady SST here. I might shoot. Get back here. I might shoot 5 of these at 100, Eric, and see where they're at, and then I might send 5 more down at 300.
Whatever you want to do, man.
Oh, I wish we had some stripper clips.
It makes an otherwise highly interesting thing somewhat less interesting, but still interesting.
Well, it'll be really interesting if this bolt slams home on my thumb. That'll be a nice meme later.
Yeah, I'd get a nice laugh out of that, actually.
I bet you would.
Go ahead.
Bye. Oh, and something I forgot to mention too. Unlike the Jungmann, where you take the dust cover, move it forward, pull the bolt back, and then you release it that way with the safety and everything, this actually does have a non-reciprocating charging handle on the side.
Grasshopper.
All right.
All right, you going 100 first?
Yeah, let me shoot 100 with these SSTs.
Go ahead.
I don't
The
know,
Horn Daddy ammo.
I've never chronographed this low before, so I don't know really how hot it is, I don't think. We'll see how it does.
Huh.
And the fitting is here.
Why does every misfortune that you have behind a gun have to come in the guise of like Monty Python?
It's just what comes to mind.
It's all shooting in about the same area.
Okay, still right there?
Yeah.
All right, now I'm just gonna shoot at 3.
But good accuracy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's putting them right in there. I know that's a very scientific term.
Let's put it right in there at 100, man. All right, I'm gonna shoot at 3.
a second time.
All right. So battle sight setting on the rear here, and we're gonna shoot 300. I'm just gonna aim dead on and just kind of cut it in half on the left side there.
Go. Down low in the dirt, just to the left.
Yeah, all right, well, I'm gonna bump it back up then and keep my other point of aim. All right, let's see.
Foot over the gong.
Foot over the gong, all right. Good windage.
Good windage.
Okay.
Dead center. That was a foot high.
Bah!
Just over the gong.
Bah!
About a 12-inch group.
Bah! All right, well, one feeding issue. I'm wondering, you know, if it's the gas system or whatever. I'm not really sure. I mean, I cleaned this gun really well. The the direct gas impingement tube is not clogged up or anything crazy. I'm wondering if it might be just some weird issue with the magazine. I don't know. I might try to find another 10 round mag or something like that laying around in some dark corner on the interwebs and overpay for it probably and see if it might be a magazine issue. But what a neat rifle. I'm gonna pass it over to Eric and let him take a few shots with this thing, and we're gonna move on.
All right, guys, I'm gonna take a couple of shots. I really do feel like this rifle is kind of a culmination of some of the best features of the AG42 and the Hakim, as well as really, if you want to consider just a 10-shot 7.62 x 39, let's just compare it to something like the SKS. I would even dare say that this rifle, in terms of its features and the way that it's made and everything, is probably one of the highest class, best class 7.62 x 39 10-shot rifles out there. I would definitely consider this gun superior to an SKS. Now, one could argue, right, well, they made a whole bunch more SKSs. Okay, they did. In fact, we're about to do a video on an SKS here in a moment. But they are interesting rifles. They're a very cool part of military history, and they're a lot of fun to shoot. You know, they were kind of short-lived, maybe an afterthought, but definitely a cool gun that belongs in every military collection if you can find one. I'm gonna go for 300 just for fun here. All right, I'm just gonna go for it.
All right, 300.
We'll see what happens.
Right over the top, perfect windage. Just to the right, slightly high. There you go, you're up around the 1 o'clock area on the plate. Bring your point of aim down a little bit more. There you go. Yep. Favorite around the top.
She's out.
Shooting
I'm
like,
gonna do 10 more rounds.
yeah, shooting like maybe a 14, 16 inch group.
Yeah, I mean, for just rapid fire, sending rounds down range, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be adequate for a service rifle, especially in an intermediate cartridge.
Yep, I'd say that SST projectile is doing maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm not overly sure that I would consider the gains to be something to write home about, but
No.
I'm going to chalk that up to the gun and maybe me as the shooter and not so much as the ammunition, because when we did a little bit more thorough testing on 7.62 x 30, of course, I'm done screwed the pooch on the mag loading here. Let me just pull the mag out. Did you find that when we shot some of this ammo out of that CZ, how did it group?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Honestly, I don't remember.
Little CZ bolt gun?
Yeah.
Because wasn't it like the VMAX? The
It was
ZMAX.
the Zombie Max.
The Zombie
Hornady.
Max shot really well, which all it is a green VMAX bullet.
Yep.
And it seemed to have done quite well.
That ammo, the Hornady Black, I think, the Zombie Max, and maybe this SST was shooting about like 1 inch, maybe 1 1/4 or so at 100 yards out of that bolt action. So, definitely good accuracy.
Very cool. I will say, this gun, extremely smooth recoil, very, very decent trigger, and the charging system is definitely superior to the AG42 and the Hakim. Like I mentioned, definitely a improvement upon that entire lineage of guns. I mean, this is where the design really went full circle, in my opinion, was the Rasheed. A very, very cool rifle. Yeah. And we love doing videos on historical pieces, guys. I mean, these guns are just so neat.
Hey man, do they make one of those 300 blackout?
Why don't you rechamber it to 300 blackout? What do you think? All right, I'm just gonna stay with it at 3 here.
Go ahead.
I mean, you know, we could shoot at closer range, but we got a little further range, why not?
That's a little bit low on the plate around 7 o'clock. Up high, there you go. Just off the left side, a little high. There you go. Right over the top, slightly left.
I'm having to kind of aim down in the grass a little bit, you know, sort of in the purgatory zone down low. That Hornady seemed to have worked for me function-wise, and the direct gas impingement in such a short system, man, such a charm to shoot. It's literally no recoil.
I know.
I mean, and that's one thing that a direct gas impingement system does give you is excellent recoil mitigation and very good accuracy too. I mean, just like Chad said, we've proven in the AR platform, you know, Eugene Stoner used the direct gas impingement system in the early ARs, and you know, obviously that system has survived into modern ARs. But the DI system lends itself to some pretty extraordinary feats of accuracy. I know there's a lot of people that kind of he and haw over, well, it needs to be a piston gun, needs to be a DI gun. We're opening up another can of worms there that we're not going to try to get into a debate on right this moment. But the DI system's been around a good minute, and it's been used in a wide variety of other platforms other than just the AR-15. A lot of people don't know that. But definitely a cool gun. Guys, thanks for watching today's video. We really, really appreciate the support from you guys. Those of you who support us on Patreon through donations, those of you that purchase man cans in order to support our efforts, you guys are the reason that we're able to keep going and that we're able to keep putting out videos. So thank you very much for the support. Guys, if you enjoy these videos and you learned something and you had some fun, maybe consider donating a few bucks on Patreon or purchasing a man can to support our efforts. That's the most direct way that you can support us. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you guys. Many more videos on the way. We'll see you next time.